your horror movie podcast.
What is up, Hackstab Slash?
Whoa.
Welcome back. If you noticed, we missed last week. I'm Hacky. Down there, that's some guy named... What's your name again?
I'm on top of you. Well, no.
Sorry. Yeah.
No, that's just weird.
Geez.
When you point down, sometimes on the screen, I'm up.
I always thought you were the
awkward.
bottom guy, but
That just
Yeah.
why are we
On
gonna
your screen, you're just
You can't
beneath
say-
us. All right, I'm Hacky.
Oh my god.
This guy over here that took a 2,000-mile south journey is just not Justin. It's Stabby. We've had a quick little
What's
hiatus
up?
due to fucking the post office, Waterboy moving a million miles away, and Christmas and spending some time with the family. Waterboy, tell us why the fuck you picked this movie.
I would also like to know that.
We were wanting to make, January the winter month, and I thought of this movie. I've seen it a couple times, and honestly, I picked it because I knew Justin would love it. At the end of the day, I knew that this is a Justin movie.
You are the worst.
I
Uh,
did it for you.
You are the worst.
wow,
bro.
thank you. Yeah, because I never saw this. So
I know. I open your mind, bro.
So years ago, like when this was on TV, I was flipping through the channels and I watched like 3 minutes of it. And it was like when they're in the cabin and there was like the little demon thing running around or whatever you call it, the little shit weasels running around. And I was like, oh, this looks awesome. Like it looked like a really cool like movie. And that's all I saw. I didn't want to ruin it. So I saw like 2 minutes of that. That's all I knew about this. I knew nothing else at all. So this was a first time watch and I was a little confused.
Jesus.
So there you go, guys. It's about shit weasels.
It's about shit weasels. All right, Hackstab Slash. We're going to kick this off with Justin. He's going to tell us all about this movie and the first set of scenes. But before we get into that, Waterboy, what was your expectation rating?
My expectations were.
Were they high?
I mean, they were a little bit.
Were you high when you picked this?
I can neither confirm nor deny, but I have to deny because it is South Carolina, and yeah, I would probably give it a little bit high because I thought of this movie being great when I watched it back in the day. Things may have changed for better or for worse. We'll see.
We'll find out.
Definitely.
Nice. Beautiful. You didn't answer my question, but
It's 6. Dude, I'm
stop
Well,
beating
lost-
around the bush.
lost for words.
Oh, that's a great band. Justin, what was your expectation rating?
So
especially going in knowing nothing.
Yeah, so and it's all I really knew nothing. So like even though you haven't seen a horror movie, a lot of times you've heard about it. Like I don't know if people love this, if this is like people give this a 10 out of 10. Oh, I don't know if people hate this movie and give it a 1 out of 10. I literally knew nothing. I don't know how even people think about this. But knowing Waterboy picked this, my expectation was a 4.
Beautiful.
Just because I picked it.
Yeah, well, you picked some bangers with Justin. You picked some bangers.
Yeah, I'm gonna make 2024 the year of space horror, dude.
Oh,
Every time I pick
no!
a
Oh my
movie.
god, the space horror musicals.
Oh god.
I hope they got one, dude. I'm gonna find it if they do.
Oh god.
I hadn't seen this movie in about 10 fucking years. I remember seeing it when I was a kid, and it scared the bejesus out of me. Knowing that this was a Stephen King adapted film, my expectation rating going back into this was very high because I love pretty much everything to do with Stephen King. So my expectation rating was actually an 8. I was expecting this to be really good. I was expecting Justin to love it. From memory, I was expecting it to scare the shit out of me.
Yep.
I did forget that it was over 2 hours long, so that was a negative.
I didn't know that when I saw the 2 hours and 13 minutes. I'm like,
It got to be a long plot.
Yeah. I got to the point where I was pausing during my turn to see when it ended. Kristen goes, will you stop pausing the fucking movie?
I did that 6 times on my part when I was trying to write notes. I'm like,
I know this is a Stephen King. It was based off a Stephen King book, but I never even heard of that book.
So get this. I didn't look anything up about this, but do you remember Creepshow that was directed by Stephen King? And there was that part of it when, he was in the movie himself with the green stuff growing everywhere.
Yeah. I remember that.
I think that he went from that to this because, the red stuff's growing everywhere. And it got on him and started growing. And it was also, a meteor from space.
I actually have
Yeah.
a fun fact about how this book was written by Stephen King.
Like, what year did this book come out? Like, when did this come out? Do you know that?
Uh, I believe he wrote it in the late 90s. He almost died. He was, I think he was out walking and he got hit by a van.
Yeah, he had a bad
And
accident,
yeah,
right?
he was put into the hospital. He almost died. He woke up out of the hospital and then he decided to write this book. We get movies like, what the hell was it called? What's the truck movie? Maximum Overdrive, where he's just all cocained out and just blowing shit up everywhere. And then we get a movie like this where he's just laid up in a bed somewhere, just opioided out on Oxycontin and Vicodin, and he's just like, I'm gonna write another movie.
Somebody call Morgan Freeman.
All right, let's go over this big opening scenes here, which, first of all, I absolutely love too. It's awesome beginning here. So we have these quick intros, how they introduce these 4 characters, a badass. Like right away, we meet Henry, I believe his name is, and we see he's a psychiatrist, and he's talking to one of his patients. And once again, I knew nothing about this movie, so right away you see him like reading his mind, and he says info that he would only know if he was at his patient's house, and the patient absolutely freaks out, runs out of the office, and then right away, all of a sudden, he grabs a gun and he puts a gun to his head like he's going to kill himself. What the hell is going on? Then the phone rings and it's his friend Jonesy, and he invites him to go camping, says that they want to go see Duddits, which once again, no clue what's happening. And then badass, like right after that phone, he puts the gun down and we cut to Jonesy. We see Jonesy. This guy is a college professor. Same thing. He's talking to this student, basically going to give this kid another chance and stuff. He's telling more info about the day of the test that there's no way he possibly could have known. So already I'm like, what is happening? Like these guys like mind readers. And then we meet Pete. But I do love how they just shifted, like each guy got like 2-minute intro. We see Pete, who is a car salesman, and a woman comes in. She's like lost her keys. She needs to get a key made. And we see him like retracing her steps. Like I'm pretty sure he calls her by the name too. And she's like, how did you know my
she's
name?
like, I didn't tell you my name.
Yeah.
He's like,
kinda,
lucky guess. It's a car salesman thing.
yeah. So he like says her name and they're saying, I'm like, what is happening? And like he like follows her back to like where she went to like to get chips and like food and stuff. And like he finds her keys in like a puddle. Yeah, like very, very crazy. And then we meet Beaver, who not really sure he does besides drink. He was just at a bar and he ends up leaving to go to a payphone, and he calls Jonesy and he's basically like, be careful. And Jonesy's like, of what? And he's like, wish I knew. And you see him like writing like SSOD, same shit. DD, SSDD, same shit, different day. They keep saying that term quite a bit. Then we follow Jonesy, and he's at a street, and we see him like seeing somebody like look like they're almost like calling out to him. And then he says, what did you say to the guy next to him? And all of a sudden, guy's like, I didn't say anything. Jonesy starts walking across the street. Bam!
Dude, absolutely he gets annihilated by that fucking car. Dude,
there's no way anybody would come back from that.
Yeah, I always was like, all right, this guy clearly is dead. Like,
this is like the most non-believable scene in this movie. 6 months later, he's walking.
That's the thing that was crazy.
He went from a straight line to like a freaking 60-degree angle.
Yeah, no, I thought this guy was dead. And like I said, like Sean basically just said, like right away. So you get boom, 6 months later. And the 4 of them pull up to a cabin. And you actually hear Jonesy telling them, like, oh yeah, like I think I saw Duddits like calling out to me before I got hit. Still at this point, no clue what the hell Duddits even is. And we see the 4 of them talking. They're bonding. These guys are drinking. They're at a cabin. They're talking about this is the 20th year of them being out there. And it gets really weird. You hear him talking about Jonesy inside like his memory. I don't know. He's like inside
a memory vault.
Memory vault. And it's kind of like memory warehouse. And it's pretty visually cool how they say this. They show him like moving memories around in his own brain and like throwing him to the fire. And that's ends up being foreshadowing. It's pretty important that we get to see this. And they give cheers to Duddits, who they say is our dream catcher. And they talk about Duddits and they say, yeah, man, I've been thinking about this guy a while now. And then we get a pretty badass flashback scene when all of them are kids. And they find a lunchbox. I think a Scooby-Doo lunchbox. And we hear this. They hear this kid screaming, crying, and everything, and they run over there, and there's like the football guy and like two of his friends trying to feed this special mentally prepared. That's not.
I mean,
what,
he was mentally prepared for Mr. Gray.
Yeah,
Dude, this,
sorry, they trying to feed this kid dog shit, and mentally impaired is what I was trying to say, and they end up scaring these kids away. They say they're gonna run, like call the cops, tell their moms or whatever, and they scare the kids away. This kid Duddits is trembling, absolutely shaken up. Beaver sings and calms them down, and they walk away. And flashback is over. We're back to the market now. We see the store manager comes out and is talking. Oh, who is it there? It's Henry and Pete.
It's Pete.
Yeah, Henry and Pete are at the store, and basically this guy's like, yo, we got an Alberta Clipper coming. Right behind that, we got a nor'easter. We got a double snowstorm. It's gonna get bad. Which, first of all, luckily for them for getting snow. I'm just gonna I was so we're supposed to get a snowstorm.
Yeah, we got a slush fest.
And at my house, it's only rain. I was so excited. I woke up, I just ran outside. I was so excited to see some snow because we can't have fun things anymore, and it is all rain. It's still rain right now. Super pissed off about that. Sorry, I gotta have ADD. Where was I? Anyway, so they.
Dude, I'm gonna stop you real quick.
Yeah.
Did anybody else think that that scene with when they were kids, straight out of fucking It?
I've got that in my notes, so I'll touch on it after Justin's done. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was gonna ask. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll talk about that. Anyway, sorry. Yeah. So they gotta hightail it back there because storm is coming, and we see Jonesy and he's hunting back at the cabin. He's about to shoot a deer. When all of a sudden they stumbling, I believe it's just a hunter, gets in the way. This dude's like, what the hell? Run down to him. This guy is just doesn't look that great. They let him inside. We find out his name is Rick. This dude is burping. I don't know, at one point his chest is like
he looks like
out. He looks all disproportionate. Yeah, I don't know what is going on. This dude does not look that good. They bring him inside and everything, and then we cut back to Pete and Henry driving back. They're having some talk and stuff just about them going through tough times and everything. And back to the cabin, we see Rick is sweating now, and Beaver walks in and is like, "What has even happened? This dude is bloated, burping, and now all of a sudden his stomach is
blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, like his stomach looks like he's pregnant." So they end up like, all right, what is going on? This guy is smelling up the whole entire place. They go and tuck him in. And we cut back to Henry is just flooring it now. He is flying it, and all of a sudden he swerves to avoid a person sitting like in the middle of the snowy roads. The car flips 37 and a half times. They get out and they look over and they see they're laughing like, holy shit, like, all right, cool, we're still alive. They look over and there was just this woman like just sitting there. Quick flashback to the cabin where we get a badass scene where they're oh man, this movie's so good so far. Freaking love it. Sorry. They're talking. These guys, they're at the table. This scene's so cool. They look up and all these animals are like running by the window and just retreating. We got bears, we got deers, we got bunnies, but they do all have like weird red marks on them. And it looked, I don't know, I thought the scene looked really cool.
It was pretty badass how they were all retreating. Yeah.
It was well done for CGI back in the
Yeah, it looked really cool. And then all of a sudden you see like a black helicopter and stuff, and they're like, hey, rescue us. Like, there's a guy sick here. Like, we need some help. And Morgan Freeman's up there, like, telling them that, it's a temporary quarantine, 24 to 48 hours, you'll be all set. And they flip them off and they fly away. Back to Pete and Henry. And they walk up to this woman and they're like, what is going on? And she barely can even talk, but she basically says, like, I have to find Rick. And she is in rough shape, too. So, they end up walking this woman over. They find like a little shelter, a little place. They make her a fire. They decide that Pete's going to stay, and Henry's going to go back to the cabin. I believe he said it's 9 miles. He's going to go back there, bring the snowmobile back. Meanwhile, tells Pete, whatever you do, don't go back to the car and get some beer. You just stay with her, and he takes off to his journey, and then we kick it over to Sean.
This movie, dude. This is a movie. Waterboy, I'll let you give your thoughts first.
Like Justin was saying, the opening credits, awesome how they did that. The transitioning between the characters for how fast they did it, I think it was perfectly well done.
I love when movies do that. I don't know why. I love it.
And it was so good. It's like it feels it was the perfect amount of time. Like what was the other movie that did the same thing with like telling us about the character? I'm trying to think. There was one of them that did it really well.
It was the older characters too. Stephen King has a very good way of like writing these characters in, and in the book, it's usually like a chapter long, which translates to like a movie script of like 5 minutes.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it was awesome. I mean, like leading up to this, like even showing that, you know, you can see that they all have a little bit of powers, going and meeting out there, just a little bit of funny shit here and there. And then that fucking scene with all the animals going, that I thought that was really really awesome.
That was beautiful,
especially for like CGI back in the day. That was really cool. They put all that together.
The fact that he says it's not, I'm not worried about where they're running to. I'm scared of what they're running from.
Yep.
Yeah. That was
badass.
Something's coming.
Someone coming.
Damn beavers or whatever. They were good.
What?
So what were the things you called at the beginning of
Shit weasels?
Shit weasels. The shit weasels are coming, bro.
Oh my god! They needed like a Paul Revere like driving through. The shit weasels are coming. The shit weasels are coming. Just a horse like
on a horse.
A random guy drives by on a horse. Drives by riding a horse.
Oh my god!
What just happened? All right, who wants to talk next? Me or Sean about the first?
All right, guys. I fucking low key hated how long this intro was. But I also like really love the music because it gave me a like X-Files meets Goosebumps. I don't know if you guys felt that, like
like a Resident Evil type of beginning vibe.
It just
I was gonna talk about the X-Files. So I'm glad you brought that up.
When they were doing the open, I don't know, I love it. They bring up that music again later on in the movie. But when Henry is trying to commit suicide and the phone rings, I don't know about you guys, but a jump scare doesn't make me put down something. Like if I've got a soda in my hand, a jump scare is going to make me spill it. So I think that jump scare might have made me pull the trigger if I was in those shoes.
Right?
Oh, no, yeah.
Yeah, and then the car crash scene after they do those quick little introductions, fucking wild. And you meet Duddins. I think he said he died twice. Like you could see him, like everyone around him is like, nah, dude, he's dead. Don't even bother calling the ambulance. We'll just leave him here and drive around him till, the morning time. The conversation between Pete and Beaver, how uncomfortable would that make Justin? Because it definitely feels like a conversation we would have on the city side while he's trying to push the cart around.
Well, Justin, have you ever had any fuckeros?
Or yeah, it's better than fuckeries.
Oh god, yeah. I forgot. I know what you're talking about now.
You got a blowjob at bingo.
Blowjob at bingo.
Yeah. And then I literally in my notes for this like whole set of scenes, I go, wait, these kids are from Derry? I go, this is a Stephen King based movie? Is this the same Derry as Pennywise? Is this why I hear everyone say these boys are like the polar opposites of the losers clubs? The kids from it all go to Derry, Maine and leave and become wildly successful. These kids all grow up in Derry and leave and become alcoholics and therapists contemplating suicide. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah. Right?
Dude, I also mentioned like the memory vault, and I thought that was pretty impressive. Like I wish I could do something like that in my mind.
That'd be so
I thought
cool.
that was beautifully done. I thought it was a great touch to the movie, a way to take you out of where you are in the movie and put you somewhere different. When we meet Duddins, in my notes, I don't talk anything about Duddins. I go, the flashback scene, I was thinking one of these bullies has to be Henry Bowers from It. And then I was like, never mind. I did some research. This set of scenes takes place in 1983. The newest series takes place in 88 and 89, and the novel takes place in 57 and 58. Justin, are you sure this woman was sitting down when they tried to avoid her? Because every time I've seen this movie, I feel like she's buried in the snow, which means they're driving on at least 2.5 feet of snow, because there's no way in hell she's any less than 5 feet tall.
I thought she was just on her knees. Like, didn't she sound... Oh, stop. Don't even... Stop. I don't even... No, you guys... No, something's clanging into my head. But anyway, she seemed like she was frozen on her knees, right?
Is it Mr. Gray?
Oh, God.
Is Mr. Gray in your head?
I thought she was just sitting Indian style, just right there chilling, dude.
Well, that's what I meant. Like,
it's just, yeah, every time I've seen this movie, I always felt like she was buried in the snow, which clearly she's not. But that's just what I thought every single time I've ever seen the scene.
Yeah. No, like
And
up to
then,
this,
guys, do you know how they say hello in this movie? They fart. So much silence. So much silence.
I just didn't understand what just happened.
It's because the silent ones are usually the deadly
Yeah.
ones.
Yeah.
Just,
do you guys like? I think they call them limericks when you use like when you say a phrase and you use the same starting like letter in each word. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do. Why are we asking about this?
Because they do it so much in this movie, and I fucking love it. Like when they're in the cabin and Beaver comes back and they meet the hunter and he farts and he goes, "Bitch in a buzzsaw, that burp's a blue ribbon, baby." All right, Justin, tell me all about these scenes real quick, and then I'll dive into my recap.
Yeah, you know what? I won't talk. You can just let's keep it moving.
All right. So, guys, now that the area has been quarantined and we learn that Morgan Freeman can fly helicopters, among many other things, our bloody Ricky has left the bed and is currently painting the bathroom red. Jesus Christ, I'm going to throw up. Jonesy leaves for some toilet paper, and Beaver decides to pick up a toothpick off this bathroom floor to chew on. Dear God, please light this entire fucking bathroom on fire. The butthole worm with his teeth straight fucks up Beaver because he can't just sit on a toilet seat. He takes his fingers, balls, and all. If they showed this in this sex ed room and told us that it was like some form of an STD, I guarantee you guys I would still be a virgin at 35. Jonesy comes back and he is panicking and he's trying to keep this door shut, but instead he breaks the doorknob trying to hold this shut, and the butthole slug monster finds the spaceman and he red mist his Ghost of Mars ass into Jonesy and possesses him, or does something. I don't quite know what's going on.
That fucking turn, like,
this got really weird, really
fast.
This shit escalated.
Oh, Jonesy.
Literally.
Jonesy, yes.
Yes, Jonesy. We jumped
and
to
his voice is so
camp.
weird.
What are you doing in there?
Did you know that's like his real voice? He is like from over the pond.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
I had no clue what was happening.
Like, he didn't bring that to the character. The American accent is what he brought.
Wow.
Guys, we jumped to quarantine camp, and Morgan Freeman drops a very Morgan Freeman monologue about involving like smooth baby butt skin and all this other shit, dude. It's just so weird the way they talk about this monster. Yeah. And there's so much booty talk and farts in this film. I don't know how high Stephen King was on oxys, or if he was just secretly trying to tell his wife that he wanted to try anal. Is there like an underlying narrative? I'm so fucking lost. They even think their theory about what's going on is full of crap. Like, everything is flatulence, buttholes, and crap. Holy shit, Morgan Freeman just blew a guy's fingers off for lying to him. And he used John Wayne's gun to do it.
That's what you get, motherfucker.
Seriously. He's losing his mind, and he's been in this movie for 5 fucking minutes.
Think twice before lying to Morgan.
Yeah, seriously. Pete decides to not listen to Henry, and he goes back for booze, but the butthole bandit has breached the backside of the broken woman, and Jonesy is feeling like a ride around the neighborhood on a snowmobile. Pete's drunk talking to the dead lady and just blabbers about like loads and loads of Duddins. Like, he's just spilling his guts. And then he decides he's got to pee. And while he's spelling Duddins' name in the snow, he gets one hell of a blowjob from the demon worm from the space from space with the really sharp teeth. At that point, dude, I would surrender if that thing bit my junk off. I would give in and be like, all right, I'm done. I quit. Henry's out for a very nice, long, beautiful nature walk. And he thinks Jonesy is coming to save him. But there's like that psychic link they have, and he tells him it's Mr. Gray. So he jumps into the snowbank. Jonesy flies by. And now we get a fun split personality conversation between Jonesy and Mr. Gray. I would have crashed the snowmobile trying to keep up with this. If that was me talking to myself, I definitely would have smashed
that was crazy.
It was great acting, though, the back and forth.
Yeah.
Great acting. Jonesy stumbles across a very banged up Pete, who apparently still has his penis. I don't know how he does, because that thing ate.
I was confused about that, too.
He ate Beaver's hand with ease, like sliced through that like a saw blade. But he latches onto
maybe
his
he had
penis
like
and he can't
maybe
get
he
it.
had like micro penis or something.
I mean, at that point,
Maybe it wasn't
props
any.
off.
It was
Why would
it
you
was
even,
very cold.
Like, why am I
It was
trying to
very
justify
cold.
this?
All right,
Can we
dude,
stop
so
talking
you made
about
the
this?
best point.
So Jonesy makes it back to the camp and he sees a very banged up Pete. And he starts talking to him like he's Jonesy, and then he switches to Mr. Gray. And Pete calls him a James Bond fucking eel. He has no idea what's going on. But Mr. Gray strangles him with his mind and makes him use his magic finger to tell him to get how to get to I-95 because Mr. Gray wants to go to Massachusetts. Henry makes it to the Bloodbath Crap Fest, Fungus Fest at the cabin. Guys, if this was me, I'm leaving ASAP. I'm opening that door and immediately shutting it and piecing the fuck out. Yeah, not only can you see this stuff consuming the cabin at record speeds, but you can also hear this stuff, and it's like a nasty ass squishy sound, just consuming everything around it. But Henry decides to investigate, and he sees a dead beaver. So the only logical thing to do would be to leave, right? Nope. He calls this thing an asshole, and he finds another butt demon worm that's now laid eggs. And he douses everything in gasoline. He lights it on fire, drops the match, gets out, right? Nope. He takes enough time for this thing to like come out. He drops the matches and then he lights a match with his fingers. Guys, This is the only time in real life and cinematic history I've ever seen someone light a fucking match with their fingers. But I'm just glad
hands must be so dry.
Yeah, dude. I mean, all that gunpowder from being the Punisher did it. That's what it is.
That's exactly what I thought when I saw this.
Yes. All right. But I'm just glad that Henry took enough time in this whole process while burning the place down to say goodbye to Beaver. I thought that was very important. Then we get another beautiful flashback back to Derry, Maine, where Duddens, if you guys noticed, is dressed in his Georgie cosplayer attire for the local convention. And the boys start to search for the missing girl from the R-Word Academy. I'm not going to say that because I don't want to get canceled before we even make it. Cue the Goosebumps
now you care
music.
about that?
I didn't say it. I told you not to say it. But we cue the Goosebumps movie music and the magical finger swirls. So we follow the magical finger swirls as they make their way to the train tracks from the movie Stand By Me. And it leads to the sewer pipe as Pennywise the dancing clown calls from the depths, pretending to be a helpless Josie. We're now back to Morgan Freeman and his Blue Man group as they fly around playing war. And Waterboy, take over and explain the rest of this opioid-fueled story from Stephen King himself.
All right. What did everybody think of that? Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. Just I didn't
hold on. I've got one word to sum everything up. What?
All right. Quick movie thoughts. I didn't say it from the first scenes, but just this movie, loved the opening so much. I love like when just like group like rekindles and just goes out to like a cabin in the woods, like absolute badass. But so much shit started going on. Like when this weird military group got in there, and just like you said, like just it was a lot of stuff going on, which I feel like there was almost just too much going on. It was very confusing and weird as shit. But this also reminded me so much of the X-Files. But this would have been a sick X-Files episode.
Yes.
Well, like, because also that would have been like 46 minutes long. So they would have like condensed.
No, they would have made it in like a 10-parter. This would have been a half a season.
Yeah, but this definitely felt very much like an X-Files episode. But there was just so much crap going on. It started getting, as soon as like the shit weasels started coming, it just got very, very weird. And the telekinesis stuff and
real quick, not to cut you off, when you said this feels like an X-Files like episode, if you guys take away the the snow, doesn't this kind of feel like Cabin Fever?
The
crazy like bloodborne like shit exploding and just grossness everywhere, and it's all isolated.
I love snow movies. I love like isolated horror movies. But then it just got too much with like all the military stuff going on, and I was just still confused what the hell who Mr. Gray was. I was so confused what done. It's like there was a lot of weird shit, but that's all I gotta say right now.
I would have liked it a lot better if like they kept the military part out of it, and it was almost like a Brotherhood like type of survival.
Yeah,
thing
I kind of same. That's what I thought it was. I didn't even read what this movie was about, so that's why I was loving it, dude. The first 30 minutes, I loved it. I thought that's what it was, and then as soon as they started they got separated, and then when Beaver died, and then it was like the military shit. It kind of took me way out of it. Like I was very excited. I was like loving it, and
Even
then
if
it
they
just
brought the military thing into it and they just made it like a background thing.
that's the thing. A lot of the movies, even like I love the X-Files. There's a lot. Obviously, there's tons of military shit, but usually it's like in the background. They don't focus so much on like the military stuff and the stuff in the base. Like they focus on the characters, and the military is just doing this thing, and they show it to you when they need to. This just got to be a lot. Like the Morgan Freeman's parts, just it wasn't my favorite.
Yeah. Like even
That's what
Waterboy's
I
gonna
got.
touch in his set of scenes. I think the most impactful military part we could have even done without that's coming up is when they fly and like that whole group of blue men or blue chip boys or whatever the hell they call themselves, they fly to the middle of the woods and they can see like a spaceship. I thought we
Yeah.
could have done without that whole set of scenes.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It, like I said, way too much shit going on. Like with the whole
Yeah.
thing, like you said, like them, like this military group tracking all these weird aliens and all this. It got to be a lot. But yeah, that's what I got to say.
I would have liked it more like it. You're like, of course, he was in the. I'm pretty sure Pete or Timothy was in the Crazies too, with
Yeah,
like that
Timothy
type of thing
Oliphant.
going,
Oh
Yeah.
with the type of
that's where
shit
he was
going on in
from.
the town.
He's one of my favorite actors.
He's really and if you've seen, oh no, you haven't seen Santa Clarita Diet. I think it was in
Yeah.
that too.
He does it with
I
Drew
never
Barrymore.
Oh, I knew that guy from some. Like I obviously know he's a fan. Oh wait, is he? He's in. Isn't he in like one of the Screams too? Like, isn't he like?
Yeah, he's in the second one. He's one of
Yeah.
the killers.
Oh shit, he's in like Scream 2, right?
He's
Yeah,
good,
Timothy Oliphant is like low key a legend.
honestly.
I just realized like how much different places I know him from. I'm
Justin,
sorry.
it'll blow your mind. After we're done, just sit down and look up his IMDb. It'll
Yeah.
blow your mind.
Yeah, I recognize.
Holy
It
shit.
took me a second. I recognize him from 1,000 things. I'm like, wait, who is this
He's
guy?
even been Hitman. He's been Agent 47.
Yes, yes.
You don't know that,
was good.
Justin, because you don't play video games, but
I don't know.
I
what that
actually
means.
like that movie. But yeah, the after everything starts hitting the fan with the shit weasels in the bathroom scene, and fuck those shit weasels, dude. I would have been out of there. And nope. Yeah,
Oh,
I'm sorry
last-
if you guys were in there. I'm
I'm
sorry.
leaving you. I'm sorry. I'm not going in there.
All right,
Nah.
last thing about the bathroom scene. Holy shit! Like Beaver, like what? I was screaming at him. Like when he's sitting down and
Bro.
like reaching and reaching. Bro, put your hand on the fucking thing. Put your hand on the toilet and reach over. Why were you sitting and like kept trying to lean forward? Bro, grab something. There's not something heavy enough to grab. There might not be to put on it, but put your hand or arm on it for a second and reach over if you really
Dude,
need.
you're
your
in there
damn
for
toothpick.
5
simple.
fucking minutes.
So simple.
You can't
have
go
enough
5
strength
minutes
to
without the
keep your hand
toothpick?
on that seat.
Right? And I get like the whole toothpick thing clearly shows he's got some anxiety thing. So this is
Yeah.
like a coping mechanism for like an adult anxiety.
Grab a fucking
But the sa-
toothbrush.
But dude, the same thing. This is do or die. You're in there for, you said, 3 fucking minutes waiting for this guy. Get your shit together.
Dude, and not to mention, he was still gonna grab the toothpick even though there wasn't any blood on it. Dude, it's still on the bathroom floor.
Yeah.
No.
Like,
Yeah.
dude. Oh god, I like this
Ugh.
character so much, but what an idiot. All right.
Fuck you, Beaver. And you
God,
shit weasels.
Jesus. I wish Beaver was in this movie for a lot longer. I
Me
liked
too.
him a lot.
I liked him so much. That's why like I'm so pissed off. He was so stupid in the scene. Rest in peace, Beaver. Why did you go to damn this movie? Sorry.
And then Pete getting his junk, or so we thought, bitten off while trying to spell Duddits his name in his piss.
Yeah, that was weird too.
Why was he spelling his name in piss, dude? That's
Right?
weird. I'm not king shit. I
You
don't
guys
know.
don't write my name when you pee in the snow?
That's the thing, dude. I have
the
friends
least
that have-
amount of letters out of all three of you, unless your bladder's huge.
And how? Whoa, that's another thing. How
My
did he
bladder
piss
is
that
pretty good.
much, dude?
I could piss. You guys don't piss that much. I could, dude. The names I could spell,
Dude, there's no way you piss that much, dude. You
bro.
take-
The names I
you
could spell.
take, like,
I can
5
see
seconds to
Justin
piss.
pissing into a snowbank. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
in cursive.
in cursive. Like I could absolutely crush it.
Capital
The
letters.
same thing, dude. This
You gotta dot the I's.
Double
I have tons of
spaced.
friends I haven't seen for like many years, and I've never been like, oh, I'm gonna, as I'm peeing, I'm like thinking about my friend. I'm like, I'm gonna go spell my friend's name that I haven't seen
You
in
know?
20 years.
Wait,
That's
you
never
don't?
happened.
No, you're not like,
Oh,
oh,
shit,
my
it's
third
getting out
grade
of control.
teacher's name feels pretty good right now.
Yeah, like, oh, I haven't seen this guy. I
Just
wonder how.
going into the air, one of those guys that puts their hand up on the wall.
Yeah, wonder how my old friend this guy's doing.
Wonder how
Like,
Sean's.
oh,
There he is.
Do
There he
you
is. There we
flush
go.
like mid pee to make sure it doesn't overflow? So much pee talk. All right, we're good.
all right,
All right, I did.
all right. Let's get. All right, yeah. Let's. All right. Moving on.
We ready
All
to
right,
get
who's
in? Or
next?
who didn't talk?
Who's
Anybody
next?
grab?
We
Dude,
might-
the only one
Waterboy
left is you,
fan now to,
Waterboy.
like,
This
go
is
the next
worse
things?
than telling Justin to pick a movie.
Okay. I guess I'll
Oh,
go.
yeah.
All right. So tracking through the snow, we get Morgan Eyebrows flying into the war zone.
For everyone who's listening, Justin
generally-
just spit his drink all over himself.
Dude, keep talking. I just keep going. I'm just gonna take a minute break. Oh no, my mouse, bro.
All right.
Keep going.
So tracking through the snow, we get Morgan Eyebrows flying into the war zone with all the worms, and we start to hear voices saying not to hurt us. There is no
Don't hurt me,
infection,
please.
and they're locking and loading and attacking the mothership, lighting those alien worms up. It's morphin' time. The damn worms combine into the mothership, turning it on into an almost self-destructive defense mechanism. And
Feels
then we
like it's
go-
Captain Planet. With our powers combined.
Water, heart.
Earth.
And then back to Mr. Gray, snowmobile adventures, headed to Massachusetts. And then we get a little piece of, Pete on the back of the snowmobile, and Mr. Gray ends up biting him in half. Like what the? Oh yeah, shit. I'll
Dude,
bite you.
he shapeshifts back into the worm.
Yeah, it was insanity. And how did he do that? Because he has the guy's body. All right, I'm not even gonna. And takes over a snowplow, and then we get back into Jonesy's mind, and he takes all the Duddits files and moves them into a safe room so Mr. Gray can't find his thoughts. And we pan back over after a little casual skiing. Henry gets caught by the military, and Morgan Eyebrows gets taken.
Is that how you call him the whole movie?
Morgan Eyebrows.
Morgan Eyebrows.
Morgan Eyebrows.
Can you
Not
read the rest of your
biggest
recap in that? Just give it a shot. I'll try not to laugh.
Random slow-mo shot of a whiskey pour. Morgan wanted to burn the whole place down to prevent further infection. Even at the cost of hundreds of innocent people, here comes the cavalry, calling in general to take over the operation, making Morgan Eyebrows not a free man. Back to Mr. Gray. The snowplow driver's dog isn't too well. After that alien protein, Henry and the officer heading trying to locate Jonesy, and coming call on the gun phone. Heading to Mass, but they're going to Derry because Mr. Gray's afraid of Duddits. They arrive at Duddits' house, realizing he has cancer. Poor boy. His mom's letting Henry take him, so at least he can die a happy man with his friend. Morgan had a tracker and a gun. He gave to the officer. Duddits knew the whole time he wants water. Mr. Gray's head. Mr. Gray's heading to the reservoir. Just one worm in the supply fills the whole world. Duddits letting Mr. Gray know he's there, and he gets scared. Freaking out, he almost crashes the police car. And then Morgan Eyebrows steals a helicopter to go find Henry. We arrive at the reservoir. Pissed off, Morgan Eyebrows trying to shoot down the officer. Using the gun he gave to him, shoots the helicopter down in a fiery explosion. Inside, Henry shoots the worm with the one last egg falling out, unknowingly hatching. Inching its way towards the water, Duddits making his grand appearance. Hello, Mr. Gay. Ooby ooby woo.
We got the motel.
We had some.
I'm crying. Has anyone ever said Scooby Doo we do with a Morgan Freeman's accent before?
We had some.
What's happening?
Oh no.
Oh my god.
Duddits, in fact, is an alien and fucks him up with Jonesy. Stomping out the last one, and we cut to credits.
Oh my god.
What did you guys think of this movie?
Oh my god. Dude.
Oh my god, that was perfect.
I had more fun doing a podcast about this movie than watching it. Oh my god.
Oh, Jesus Christ, dude.
Oh, I'm crying.
I am crying too. That was a lot.
That was awesome, buddy. That was better than me trying to
Oh,
read it.
God.
What we do, Cabin in the Woods.
It was so hard, dude. It was so hard.
Oh.
Obi whoa.
That was a lot. Dude, never mind.
We have some cut to do now.
When you first said Morgan eyebrows, I had my last sip of my drink left. I just absolutely lost it. Never mind. I wash up, I clean up, then all the peacock.
You put your headphones on.
I put my headphones on, and I hear Morgan Freeman talking. The first thing I hear is like "ooby ooby doo." Like, that was a lot to handle.
Dude, I was giggling the whole time you were doing it.
Oh my god!
But
dude.
I fucking lost it when you started getting descriptive, and you was like, "And he just wants a glass of water."
Yeah, that was a lot to process. But
we're driving to the reservoir.
All right, I guess yeah. But being serious, just like, yeah, that was a lot. I don't even like that.
That was a lot, dude.
Like even the ending there, the whole done it showdown, like just turning into the weird looking aliens and stuff. I don't know. At this point, I was just kind of glad it was over.
That was like some Star Trek shit, man.
I didn't. Yeah, it was. I don't know.
Yo, what? Yo, Duddits has cancer, dude, and he turns into this like fucking badass alien. Fucking with the.
I don't know
what?
if Duddins has like cancer or if that's the vessel that he took that got cancer.
That's
maybe it's the alien, like his age. Maybe the alien's sick. I don't know.
But
I think it might have to do more with like that's the vessel that he chose, because almost like the Mr. Gray, like he was able to morph with that body somehow.
Yeah.
But it was still him, Jonesy, at the end.
Yeah, because they said he was fully immune because they think he died.
Yeah. That's crazy.
So I got a question about Duddits. Like I don't understand. Like he picked did he kill someone to get into that kid's body? Like
I think maybe he just like
Duddits might have been like the first encounter he had, or something like of that nature. Duddits may have already had some kind of like telepathic ability or psychic ability, and the alien might have even been at the hospital and took it over, because like we hear Morgan Eyebrows say quite frequently that these aliens become whatever they want, and they usually pick something that pleases the human eye, like a baby.
Okay.
And that's when he's like, the baby bottom butt's good.
Yeah, I couldn't. I remember him talking. I couldn't follow anything that guy was saying there.
But like you said, dude, like he shapeshifts. Then why did he need Jonesy's body? Like, can he just consume someone and shapeshift? Like,
I think it would have been hard. It would have been harder to ride on a snowmobile as a worm.
Yeah. No. But
it's
so confusing.
Like,
I know.
Asking directions.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Like I know this is a book turned into a movie, so maybe the book describes everything way more in detail. But I don't know about you guys, but I felt absolutely disgusting when he took the dog to the back of this truck and started feeding it all the dead stuff.
Oh yes, yeah. Good boy. Eat up. This is great. Yes.
Yeah, eats all the red stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of nasty. Some gross shit in this movie.
Like, you know how I brought up the STD thing, and like I was like, if you guys told me this was an STD, I'd still be a virgin.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me this quarantine camp, when you see everyone's face, they don't look like they're possessed by aliens or like infected. They just look like they have a really bad case of herpes.
Yeah, or like bad eczema.
Yeah.
And then Waterboy, every time you touched on Morgan, his eyebrows, in my notes, I shit you not, it goes, also, is it me or does Morgan Freeman's eyebrows get bushier and crazier the madder he gets?
I never noticed stuff like that. Like I said earlier, like usually Sean like notices like the most random shit about people, and I'm like, oh, I didn't notice that. In this movie, it's impossible not to notice that. It was like the first thing I noticed. I was like, oh, well, that's interesting.
It was like, they were big and crazy, and then like halfway through the movie, I think he was talking to Tom Sizemore, and he was like, we're gonna have to kill these people. And in that scene, when you can tell like he's lost his mind, all I could think about was, oh my fucking God, dude. Like, he's got more hair on his eyebrows than he does on his head right now.
You know what I just thought of when you talked about that was, you remember in Scary Movie 3 where that cop's hat just keeps getting bigger and everything?
Yeah. And the dialogue in this movie, I touched on, like, they say some of the most random shit.
Yep.
Henry drops a line. He goes, some kind of shit is going to hit the planetary fan. Jonesy, if you're out there, call 1-800-HENRY. And then he answers the pistol.
Get the gun phone.
Yeah, what?
The gun phone.
He's like,
Jonesy?
What was that?
And he puts it down like he hangs it up. It's just...
Yeah.
He's like, can I have my gun back?
I was like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Justin, this is my fun fact for you.
All right, what do you
When
got?
we meet adult Duddens, he's been absent from this movie all this time, and they haven't seen him in about 20 years because he's been busy traveling the world with his boy group, New Kids on the Block. And if you didn't know this, that band is from Dorchester, Mass. And they were hugely popular from like 84 to 94. It took a hiatus to make this movie. And then he went on tour with the Backstreet Boys from like 2008 until now. I didn't know if you
Duddens?
knew that. Yeah.
Duddens, Sid?
Yeah, Duddens.
Obi whoa.
Because it's Donnie Wahlberg. He was in New Kids on the Block.
Yeah, that was
That was his start to fame. Was the
Yep.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember New
Tough.
Kids. I was gonna say, I remember you got what? You got the right stuff.
Yeah,
Oh,
you got
oh,
the right
oh,
stuff.
Oh.
All right.
Yeah.
At the risk of sounding like a boy band fascinator, that little
God.
hook drop. Tell me that's not like really friggin' good. Oh.
It's kind of
I mean,
catchy.
it is.
Yeah,
it is
I'm not
catchy.
saying like,
uh,
dude, like I'm
it's
gonna
not
go out and
great.
blare like their albums and stuff. Like props
But-
to them, but like that was that hook was a banger.
I mean, they did it. I mean,
You can tell Donnie is from Dorchester, even with the Duddens accent. Did you hear the Boston accent squeak its way through when he's like, "Ooby do, we got some work to do now." Like,
we asked some to do now.
Wasn't he wearing like
he-
a Red Sox hat at some point too?
Yeah, he had a Sox cap on and a Boston, like the starter jackets.
Yes.
Hey,
Let's
did
go.
it, bro.
Yeah, my final thoughts. I give this a 4.5, and only because
High.
Sorry. Anyway, because I just said stroked out there. Because I actually loved like the beginning. It was awesome, and like Sean said, some of the actors are really awesome. I really liked Beaver, and
Yeah,
Me
you
too.
do.
I get it. Sorry. Yeah, I like the four characters like a lot. Like those were really good, but then it felt like two different movies in one. Maybe even 2.5 to 3 different movies in one. Like I like
a lot
the
of
first
people
30
said
minutes.
like the book it's one of those books where you have to slow down, read, and go very patient with it because it is like three books wrapped up into one. So translating that into a movie is fucking wild.
Yeah, they probably shouldn't even made this movie. Like I said, I lost complete interest in it like halfway through. It just took me way out of it with all the crazy military, weird shape-shifting alien hunters. Just I don't know. Didn't love it, but I gave it a 4.5, which is pretty terrible. And that's all I
Hey.
got.
I would have given it super high if it didn't have the military because I would have loved it just to be like a story with the guy surviving like in apocalyptic times at a cabin.
Yeah.
Stephen King has a very good way of writing that stuff into movies. And like you guys both said, if you just take away the military thing, this is a whole different movie.
I'm gonna have to give this a 5.9 out of 10.
All right.
But Morgan's eyebrows, I give those a 10 out of 10. Honestly. Oh gosh.
That's great.
All right, so
What do you give it,
all in
Sean?
all, it's not a great movie. It's
No.
very much a Stephen King wild ride, though. Like I told you guys earlier, I guess he wrote this after almost being killed by a van. I also read somewhere that his wife and I think his agent bought this van for $1,500, and then they crushed it while he was in the hospital. And Stephen King was pissed because I guess he wanted to destroy this van with his own 2 hands. Like he wanted to grab a
What?
sledgehammer and
Is this
just
real?
beat this. Yeah,
Oh, dude,
and just destroy this van with his own 2 hands.
that'd be cool to see.
Dude, I remember this movie being creepy as fuck when I was a teenager when it first came out, and it did just that to me on a rewatch. It creeped me out, it grossed me out, and I'm gonna give this a butt clenching 6.9 because I don't want no earthworm Jims crawling out of my booty hole.
Nope.
Hell
Nope.
no.
I'm the
Fucking-
highest on this one, huh?
Oh shit, weasels.
Yeah.
I think it's I tend to love Stephen King's way of writing. I mean, he sucks at endings, and he knows that. And this is actually one of the movies that he kind of disowns along with Maximum Overdrive. Like he just, if you ever hear him talk about Dreamcatcher, he's like, "Yeah, I don't like that book."
Who's the other person who has shit endings?
M. Night Shyamalan.
There we go.
Don't
That's
even
him.
get me. That's another day.
His,
So,
his is just he had that one amazing twist with The Sixth Sense, and I think he focuses way too much on like every movie's got to have a crazy twist ending. It doesn't,
Yeah,
dude.
no.
Just end it.
That's why that will probably be forever his best movie.
So hack stab slash, if you stuck with us this long, why don't you like, share, subscribe, give us a follow, 5-star review, anything you can do to help us grow the podcast. We're on all kinds of platforms. We're on Spotify, we're on Apple Pod, we're on Google, all that crap, Google Play, X, X and Twitter, same fucking thing. I do this every episode. You'd think I'd know by now.
I was gonna say
Facebook, Instagram,
Store?
Threads, YouTube, especially. We love interacting. The few comments we do get, we try to answer back. You can just come hang out with us. Let us know. Follow us, and we'll be back next week. Next week, I chose The Colony. It's a winter-themed horror movie for sure. I've never seen it. I don't know anything about it. So if it sucks, and Justin's laughing like it does, I'm sorry.
But it's got
no for 3.
It can't be. It's got Morpheus in it. It can't be. Can't be bad.
I mean,
which pill did you take, Justin?
You took the red one.
How you dude? That mic is heavy, dude. What are you doing? You doing your workout?
I am, man. Static holds. Let's go. Gonna work all them muscles.
All right, guys. I'm Hacky. That's Stabby. This guy down here.
Just Justin. Up here.
Home.
Just Justin.
Later.
Let's go. Peace.
Yeah, I'll take it easy.